Are you ready to transform your pool into a stunning oasis? At Mainland Pool Service, they're a family-owned business committed to keeping your pool looking pristine all year round. They believe that pool care should be proactive, not reactive, which is why their skilled team handles everything from routine cleaning to complex issues with precision. They prioritize clear communication and personalized solutions to exceed your expectations. Join the Mainland Pool Service family today and experience the difference their expertise and dedication can bring to your relaxation retreat. Contact them now at mainlandpoolservice.com.
Are you an entertainer who loves to dance and hype up the crowd? If so, the Hustle Hype Crew is a perfect opportunity for you to gain professional performance and entertainment experience. The Hustle Hype Crew is a hip-hop-centric performance team that brings the energy to all the Memphis Hustle games. Come audition for the best entertainment team in the G League on Sunday, September 13th at Landers Center. For more information, visit memphis.gleague.nba.com/hype crew.
We're doing Act It Out. Okay, put it on your... You want to do it?
Okay, I'll go. Curling my hair, straightening my hair.
There you go. I hope that's not how you do that.
Wait, what is that? Oh, but you're playing pool.
Yes. There we go.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Yo, it's your best hype man in the NBA, BLJ. It is caravan season, brought to you by Kroger. Mid-South, we're coming to make something shake, and I never come alone. I got the best dancers in the NBA, the Grizz girls, and got the best hype squad in the NBA, the Claw crew, and I got the best junior Grizzly coaches right here. Free junior Grizzlies, basketball clinics, sweepstakes, and so much more. It's Memphis Grizzly Caravan coming to a city near you. Holla!
From the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
My name is Gary Parrish, speaking for the Built Ford Tough Studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle right there, producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you weren't really emotionally tied to the Pro Bowl, because if so, I got some bad news for you. Rest in peace, Pro Bowl. It's done. Dead. After 75 years, smart move by the NFL, if you don't mind me saying. I'll explain why momentarily. First, though, let me set today's schedule for you. In the next segment, about 20 minutes, Michael Wallace is going to join me, senior editor, Grind City Media. He'll pop in here, and we'll talk about a number of things, including the Memphis football program reportedly settling on a starting quarterback. Michael Wallace will talk to me about that. He'll be here in the next segment. Finish talking to him, take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we'll discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, the Big 12 has joined the Big 10 and the SEC as conferences saying they're done with former professional athletes. Is the ACC going to join them? What about the American? We'll discuss in about 40 minutes. TCU's football program has pulled the credential of a reporter from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram after he detailed a locker room incident that led to a player's dismissal. I bet you $5 they're going to regret and undo this in due time. I'll give you the details. We'll do that in just a bit. Rest in peace to ESPN's scoreboard ticker. You will not see it during college football games this year. I'll see if Bennett is okay with that. We'll do that a little later on in the show. Michael Jordan is not expected to return to NBC for interviews this upcoming basketball season. Seems wise given how lame that whole thing was last year. We'll get into that in the third segment. And you're not going to believe what a dude who called himself, this is what he called himself, Mr. Child Porn. That's what he called himself. Like, you could call yourself anything on the internet. Whoa. You know? You could call yourself anything on the internet. He settled on Mr. Child Porn. You ain't going to believe what he got caught with. Made it pretty simple for the authorities. We'll make fun of this dude during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's Carryout, and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, but I did want to start In the NFL, where we got a notable headline that emerged on Wednesday night at CBSSports.com. This was the headline. NFL eliminates Pro Bowl after 75 years, but players will still receive the annual honor. Click on the story, and it started this way. It's the end of an era. The NFL played its all-star game in the form of the Pro Bowl from 1951 to 2022 before introducing the alternative Pro Bowl games, which included a flag football contest. Now the NFL is getting rid of all of it. Pro Bowl activities are over and done with. The league announced last night that it will eliminate the Pro Bowl. Honors will still go to 88 players, but there will be no more alternates who in the past replaced players who were either injured or playing in that year's Super Bowl. Big Bet Bennett, it is great to see you on a Thursday morning. I know you love the NFL, so I'm interested in getting your thoughts on the death of the Pro Bowl.
I cannot remember the last time I even watched it, so I don't care at all. I mean, I think the last time I've never watched what is it called, the Pro Bowl games?
Pro Bowl games.
I don't think I've ever watched that in that iteration of the Pro Bowl.
I don't think I ever put my eyes on that either.
No, I never watched that. I do remember when they used to do it in Hawaii, and then they moved it to Orlando. And I guess, honestly, my last big memory of watching the Pro Bowl, this is going to age me, is probably when Sean Taylor, laid out that kicker.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's been a long time.
Well, I guess this is evidence then. Your story, your little anecdote about the last time somebody who has acknowledged publicly into these microphones on camera that you will tape every NFL preseason exhibition just to watch it in your own time. You won't even put your eyes on the Pro Bowl games. You can't remember watching a Pro Bowl since who? Sean Taylor?
Yeah. Wasn't it? And then he laid out that kicker.
I mean, don't get me to lying about the Pro Bowl.
Yeah. It's been a long time. So no, I just the Pro Bowl has never been really my thing at all.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I don't think it was a lot.
Rest in power.
I don't think it was a lot of people's thing, if I'm being quite honest.
You know whose thing it definitely wasn't? The players.
No.
The players.
Well, evidence being none of them participated in it. They had to get dudes that had okay seasons to be Pro Bowlers.
Already? Worse than okay.
Yeah, right.
Worse than okay. And this is why this is a good move. Let's talk through it.
Okay.
Rest in peace, Pro Bowl. Born 1951, died in 2026. The average life expectancy in the United States right now, 79 years.
Mm-hmm.
79 years old. The Pro Bowl didn't get 79 years on this planet, but it did get 75. Pretty good life. But based on current averages of human Americans, the Pro Bowl died early. And thank God, because who cares? This has been the dumbest all-star game in our country by far for a while. I actually give the NFL credit for putting a bullet in it and ending this thing. I can't actually believe it lived this long. I would have killed this Pro Bowl at least a decade ago.
Yeah.
And probably earlier, if possible. Do you realize why, Bennett, they actually decided to pull the trigger on this? Do you realize what the motivation was? Why they said, all right, enough's enough, we're done with this. You realize how the process?
I mean, my first inclination would just be that because nobody wanted to participate in it.
They literally just asked the players. Yeah. They literally just went to the players. The same way Adam Silver is constantly going to NBA players and saying, hey, what do we need to do to make you guys care about our all-star game? Mm-hmm. The NFL went to its players, and they really just said, hey, can you talk to us for a second? What do you like about the Pro Bowl? What do you hate about the Pro Bowl? And do you know what the players told the NFL? They like being honored. They like being called a Pro Bowler. They like having that on their Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
But they don't like playing an extra football game and taking extra football hits after being honored. They'd rather just go to dinner in a beautiful location with their wives or girlfriends or partners or whatever and be honored and have a good time. But they don't want to put shoulder pads on again. They don't want to put helmets on again. And they don't want to do football stuff anymore. The season's over. Let's let the season be over. And so here's what the players told the NFL. They said, hey, how about this? How about we do this? Let's play a season. Let everybody watch it. Fans, coaches, players. can then pick the best 88 players. And we're going to call those players Pro Bowlers. That's the number. And we're going to put it on all their Wikipedia pages. You're a Pro Bowler. You're a Pro Bowler. You earned it this year. And then we're going to offer to fly all 88 of those players, plus a plus one. We're going to fly them to someplace amazing. What we now know is it will be Los Angeles. So, you get the sun, and you get the good weather, and you get the ocean and all that. You get the nice restaurants and everything else you could want. And you're going to fly them all to Los Angeles at the end of the season. And rather than make them play football or do football stuff, participate in competitions even people like Bennett don't care about, we're just going to let them hang at the pool, play golf, play pickleball, go to incredible dinners, relax for a few days. That's it. And the NFL said, okay, deal. And it actually matters to the history of the sport, because do you realize how many not good players, or at least players who had not good seasons, are allowed to call themselves Pro Bowlers only because of the goofy criteria that's been around forever?
It's silly.
I mean, it's outrageous. Do you know? I think you do.
I do.
Shedeur Sanders was a Pro Bowler last season.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to pick on him. I'm actually rooting for him.
But the points.
But he is a great example of what I'm talking about. The Athletic ranked all quarterbacks after last season based on how they played last season. So you might rank Patrick Mahomes as the best quarterback in the world of all time, however you want to do that. But you wouldn't have ranked him there last season based on the season that he had. These rankings were based off of how did you play in the 2025 NFL season. And Shedeur Sanders ranked 35th on that list. And he was a Pro Bowler last season. The 35th best quarterback in the NFL last season was a Pro Bowler. He started 7 games. He threw 7 passing touchdowns and 10 interceptions. And he was a Pro Bowler. It's silly. If you go to his Wikipedia page right now, it says Pro Bowler as a rookie. If my kids ask me, Dad, how's Shedeur Sanders? And I say, back up to Deshaun Watson, not going so well. And they say, but he was a rookie last year, right? Yeah. 5th round pick? Yeah. And he was a Pro Bowler? Yeah. Well, does that mean he was great? A 5th round pick, rookie Pro Bowler? Well, that's just how the NFL does it. It's goofy. No, it doesn't mean what you think it means. It's misleading. It manipulates the history of the sport, and it devalues the honor. So the way they would do it in years past is they'd have these votes. Coaches, players, fans all vote. Mm-hmm. They pick 88 players. But if you're hurt, you're replaced. If you're in the Super Bowl, you're replaced. And those replacements also got to call themselves Pro Bowlers. So in the history books, you ready for this? Sam Darnold and Shedeur Sanders were both Pro Bowlers last season. One was an MVP candidate who guided his team to a Super Bowl victory. The other one didn't even start half the games and threw more interceptions than touchdowns. Both Pro Bowlers. Does that make any sense?
No.
It's stupid. You know who else needs to fix this? Major League Baseball. You know what their rule is?
Isn't that what I thought you were going to say? Okay, what's their rule?
You have to have an all-star from every team.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
There's not... All-stars are supposed to be you're excellent at this thing that you do.
Yep.
Not you're the best on the worst team. I just Googled Ken Harvey. I don't even know who this person is. He was a all-star in 2004, Major League Baseball. His WAR was negative. Wins above replacement. Wins above a replacement average player. He was a negative. He wasn't even an average baseball player in that season, but because the Royals had to have an all-star, Ken Harvey is an all-star. You bump into Ken Harvey today, you'd be like, so you play in the big leagues? Yeah. For who? Well, I was with the Royals for a minute. Oh, so how'd that go? I was an all-star in 2004. Oh, wow, that's amazing. I wasn't even an average major leaguer. I just happened to be the all-star representative from the Kansas City Royals because everybody has to have one. Imagine if the NBA did it that way.
Right.
Imagine if the Grizzlies had to have an all-star last year. Who would it be? Who would be the Grizzlies all-star? Cedric Howard?
I was going to say it honestly might have been him.
Yeah. And that would have sounded ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Cedric Howard on the same all-star team? because every franchise has
in time.
Yeah, give it a minute. We'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to get there, but you shouldn't have been there last year.
Right.
But if you, in the NBA, had that same rule as Major League Baseball, the Grizzlies would have had to, and the Kings, and everybody. You'd have had to have an all-star. So you know what that means? Somebody else who's actually having a better season than you gets left off the all-star team. Even though they're superior to you in every way. There's no statistical argument against you and for them except for, well, they play for that team, and they have to have an all-star. And you play for this team, and your team's already got 3 all-stars. So you might be the 4th best player on your team, but the 9th best player in baseball. But you don't get to be an all-star because we got to take one from every team, and you already got enough from this team. It's crazy. It's just silly. And maybe I'm the only one that cares about this, but I think it should matter. Like the idea that when you look at NFL players throughout history, we talk about all-star game appearances and Pro Bowls all the time. He's a 7-time Pro Bowler. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler. And these labels don't represent what it is they suggest they represent. Like in this particular, what on a surface level, if you're a Pro Bowler in any given season, it is supposed to indicate you're one of the best players in football that season. And for a while, it just has not. Shedeur Sanders wasn't a Pro Bowler last season. Major League Baseball, same thing. The NBA is closer to getting it right than anybody else because they just really take the best players, or at least that's the attempt outside of the fan vote. They really just try to take who's being awesome this season in this sport. Let's take them and call them all-stars. But Major League Baseball, they manipulate it by forcing you to take one from every team. And in the NFL, once you start replacing injured players or Super Bowl players, that's how you keep going down a list to where you go. I guess a guy who didn't even start half his games for his team and threw more interceptions than touchdowns, I guess he's a Pro Bowler because somebody has to be. Rest in peace.
Yeah, and I actually think that they have a chance to make this thing relevant again. I mean, I don't know because I haven't watched it, but I would assume that their numbers have declined drastically over the years. Yeah. And so that's probably another big part of the decision. But like you could actually turn it into a show in the sea. And I'm sure they do some kind of show, but I'm saying you could just make it more prestigious and have a show during the actual season, like on a weeknight where you gather all these guys together, you know, in a room and have big presentations and stuff like that. And it could become a thing again.
Well, I don't know if you do it in the season, but if you could actually get the best players in football to show up to this thing, just say, hey, bring your wife, bring your girlfriend, bring your partner, whatever.
Yeah.
It's all expenses paid, 5-star hotel, California.
Yeah.
We're going to do awesome dinners. If you play golf, you can do that. If your wife likes to go to the spa, she can do that. If you just make it where it's like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and all the big stars say, yeah, it's an all expenses paid trip to, LA. I mean, we're going to be among our peers and
put it back in Hawaii.
And I mean, just whatever. Like if you make it like Hawaii actually might be counterproductive because that might be the type of thing where people go, it's too far. I don't want to go. Like I don't, all these guys are rich. They can do their own trips.
That's true.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce don't need the NFL to pay for a trip to California. But as long as you make it where you want to go, yeah, let's go. It'll be fun. Then you can turn that into whatever you want to turn it into. A television show, an awards banquet, Just say Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce are showing up somewhere tonight, and, people will put that on TV. And as long what the players make clear to the NFL is, as long as we don't have to play football or do skills, we're done. We want to go to training camp next year. But once football's over, we don't want to think about football, do any football stuff again. And the NFL listened. And so now you won't get to watch what we grew up with as the Pro Bowl, but here's the truth. None of us were watching it anyway.
Right.
You can't even remember the last time you turned it on and you record preseason exhibition games.
That's right. Well, the stakes aren't as high.
That should be case closed.
Yeah.
That should be case closed. If you can't get Bennett to turn on your football product, it probably doesn't need to be there. Yeah. Talk to Michael Wallace next.
Each challenge is unique, so each game plan is customized to identify opportunity and the path to victory. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle with personalized planning and advice. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by May 30th, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
What are some of the best team bonding activities that you've been so far?
We always open up with a scavenger hunt to familiarize ourselves with campus. We did a sip and paint, Gatorade, of course, and did some canvas painting of some Nike shoes. We went to Top Golf. We had a game night at my house.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The Grizzlies are on their way to a new era, and now's the perfect time to buy in and secure your seat to witness history. With the 2026-27 half-season tickets, you can see the future take shape in real time. With a talented draft class joining our young core and starting this season, half-season ticket holders can own the moments with all new MVP benefit, including inside access to exclusive events, perks that match your passion, and rewards that take your fan experience to the next level. More information, visit grizzlies.com/tickets or just call 901-888-HOOP or grizzlies.com/tickets. Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show. We're inside the Built Ford Tough Studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. And on Thursdays, I'm joined by Michael Wallace, senior editor, Grind City Media. He's right here in the flesh. How are you?
Yes, sir, man. It's good to be here in the flesh, man. So might as well come in here and chop it up with you. Our baseball teams aren't doing anything but holding up the cellar of the NL East. My Nationals, your Mets.
It's so bad.
So let's move on to other important things.
It's so bad. Like, all I want to do is just be excited about baseball. And
it's impossible.
I haven't had 1 second of that this season.
Yes.
Not
yes.
one
No.
second. I went to opening day. I forgot about that. I went to opening day at Citi Field this year. Excited. Saw the Mets beat Paul Skeens. I was like, let's go. And it's been terrible since then.
And then didn't the manager get fired like 2 weeks later?
There you go. It was a little longer than that. But
okay.
yes,
It felt like it was 2 weeks later. Yeah.
GM's next.
You
screw up another $350 million payroll, you'll be next. All right, that's art. That's enough of baseball. Let me ask you this first.
Yeah.
NFL announced yesterday they're done with the Pro Bowl. Fine with me. I can't even remember last time I watched it. Bennett can't remember last time he watched it. It was just a thing that it exceeded its worth in the sports landscape. There's no purpose for it anymore.
Nah, I mean, they announced yesterday they were done with it. I think I was done with it 15 years ago.
There you go.
Right? So it's like one of those things where, because of the nature of the injuries, why risk it at that point?
Right.
You're already at the end of the season, right? Why go into your off season getting hurt or getting banged up, playing tackle football for nothing other than going out to Hawaii? And I think, I think my man Taylor, man, what's my guy, my safety, not Fred Taylor, Sean Taylor. Sean Taylor, man. When he went torpedo.
Y'all both have that.
Yeah,
Yes.
man. When he went torpedoing into a dude on a kickoff in the Pro Bowl, it was like, all right, that's enough. We don't need that anymore, man. So you got to wonder, like, what is there about it, and what other ways can you honor your players? But I think in football, it's just too dangerous of a sport.
Here's what you do: you watch the season, and then you name the Pro Bowlers, and it doesn't matter who's healthy, it doesn't matter who's in the Super Bowl. Just who were the best players at every position in this particular season. You honor them, you call them Pro Bowlers, you offer to fly them to LA, nice dinners, we give you the little awards. There's all sorts of swag bags everywhere. 5-star resort. Bring your wife. wife, your partner, whatever, spas. It's just a perfect weekend away to honor you having a great year in your profession. And we're not touching a football, not thinking about a football.
Right.
That's what the players told the NFL they wanted, and the NFL said, okay, we'll do it.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense because participation was going to be, at the end of the day, if you're saying this is a Pro Bowl game and you got, Shedeur Sanders as a starting quarterback.
Right.
Like, he's not a Pro Bowler.
No.
Like, you're just replacing the replacements who want to be replaced.
That's right.
So at a certain point, you got to get past that for the integrity of what you're trying to do, and eliminating it makes sense.
And I recognize big picture, this is small stuff. I might be the only person who gets caught up on this type of stuff. But Shedeur Sanders, I have no idea where his career is going to go. But I guarantee you this, if one day he's no longer playing football and he would like to talk for a living, he can probably do that. So let's say he ends up on a desk somewhere in a studio, and every time he's introduced, they will say, and here it is, former Colorado, Cleveland Browns quarterback, Pro Bowler 2025, Shedeur Sanders. And that will not accurately reflect what 2025 was for him. And I get bothered by that.
Yeah.
When you call somebody a Pro Bowler, an All-Star, a Hall of Famer, it should automatically indicate what it suggested indicates, which is this is one of the best. And Pro Bowler, that term, and also MLB All-Star, that term, because they got to take one from every team, it doesn't represent that.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And there's a clear distinction between All-Pro and Pro Bowler, right? There's a distinction between All-Star and All-NBA.
There you go.
And sometimes in NFL, that kind of got blurred a little bit, especially with the way the Pro Bowl was playing out from that standpoint. And now you got to look at all of these other sports. Should the NBA continue it? Especially, they've been trying to, different ideas that have worked. Some have, some haven't. For it seems like 5-10 years now. And has the NBA landed on a space where it's NBA All-Star Weekend or the game in specific? Is it meaningful enough to try to talk about tweaking it?
I don't know. My answer to that is officially I don't know, but Wemby might be the key to changing it.
To saving it,
because he brought a level of intensity to it and care to it that seemed to elevate it at least a little bit last season.
Yeah, he did. He did. And from the domestic side, Anthony Edwards was there to meet that mantle and go against Wemby in that situation. So I think the NBA can save it by continuing to lean into that international versus national versus global matchup, figuring out how to best work that. And having some more pride about it from that standpoint. But when you have all of these aging guys and guys that kind of make it a layup line, it's not fun to watch. It really isn't. It's not like the All-Star games I grew up watching.
No.
When they really went at it and, you saw some things in those games that it carried over into the second half of the season. Like this one is just, it's an exhibition that's not even any fun.
And I would say things like, and I don't understand why you just can't play. Just go play. It's very simple in my head. Just go play and compete. And I still sort of subscribe to that.
Yeah.
But at this point, I have talked to former All-Stars. I work with some of them.
Yeah.
And here's what they'll tell you. Like if you ask Wally Zerbiak, who's a former All-Star, you know what he'll tell you? The last thing you want to do at All-Star Weekend is play in that game. Because by the time you get to Sunday night, you're exhausted. You've been because it's not just the parties. Everybody's like,
it's obligations.
It's obligations. You are being pulled a million directions from the moment you set foot in that city, and you just don't. By the time you get to Sunday, you're just tired, and you don't want to be out there playing.
Right, and that's true.
I feel like it would be silly for me to argue with him. He lived it. He lived it. He knows what it's like, and I don't think that's a unique opinion. I think most guys are like, it's cool. All-Star Weekend's cool, but man, we don't need to play in this game.
Money's also changed it too, because there was a time when you were an All-Star, you still had your biggest contract in front of you. Now all of these All-Stars are making $100 and $200 and $300 million, right? So they've already gotten the brand. They gotten. That's one of the reasons why they're exhausted, because they have the shoe companies that they have obligations for. They have the sponsorships and all of those things. Back in the 80s and in the 90s, like guys were still on the come up.
Oh, yeah.
And they had to make a name for themselves through the All-Star games in order to get to that, to that level of being marketable to that standpoint. So I think this early money that these guys are getting 2-3 years into their careers, they're $300 million. What's the incentive now? Right? And I think that kind of changes it. So the economics of the NBA kind of changed, the motivation in some ways.
All right, let's talk college football. We're now 2 days away from the start of the season. Tigers at UNLV on Saturday night on Fox. And I saw you tweet about Charles Huff the other day. I don't think any of us actually know what to expect. Like even when I, bring on Ed Scott, bring on former Memphis football player Gabe Kuhn, and I ask him a very basic question, like, what do you expect? They talk around it because they're good talkers, but they don't they don't say anything because they don't know. So I am eager to just put my eyes on it. And there is a report from yesterday that says Memphis has settled on a starting quarterback, that it will be Marcus Stokes. Now, the report is from at College FB Portal. I don't know what that is. It's I'd feel better if it was from Pete Thamel. Right. I think we've assumed it might be headed this way for a while, and it sounds like Marcus Stokes might be the quarterback. But let me back up to Charles Huff. Just we don't know what the team's going to look like, but we've seen him, and we have a sense for who he is and what he's about. What are your impressions so far?
I mean, I'm impressed with him. I love the fact that he knows how to stand up in front of a podium and be himself and be authentic. And I think Dr. Scott is the same way. So when I see and I'll take it to a different level. When I see Ed Scott, Charles Huff, Penny Hardaway, I'm looking at 3 African-American men, right? 2 of which who have been affiliated with HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities at some level. And there are it's rare that you see in major Division I college athletics a black AD, black head basketball coach, black head football coach.
Can I stop you for a second?
Yes.
How much does that matter?
It matters tremendously
okay, good.
in this day and age, because what it says is that there is talent out there, right? Now, granted, Penny Hardaway still has a lot to prove. Huff has a lot to prove being here. But the pathway to get to these positions, in particular the athletic director position, I mean, none of those are easy for African Americans or minorities or women or anybody from a different background. So to do that, to have that here in Memphis, one of the most diverse, culturally diverse cities in the country, that's something that this city could take pride in. And it's not just because of race. It's not about race. It's about opportunity.
But I think
that's important, man.
But what I was trying to touch on is just the idea of just representation.
Yes.
Having
opportunity representation.
Having your children be able to see people who look like them in positions of power, in positions of importance. I think it's very easy for people like me to sometimes forget how much that matters. I think the University of Memphis is it's something to aspire to right now, just in terms of the people they have in those
positions,
the 3. I would argue the 3 most important positions in the athletic department.
No question.
You're not going to find many athletic departments like that.
That's
now.
What I'm saying. And you've been around college athletics half your life. At this point, I've been around it a long time as well too, and. Again, representation and opportunity. Now, guess what? These guys have to deliver.
Yes.
Because they won't be in those positions long if they don't, right? And they both have clearly defined obligations and opportunities to do that. But Charles Huff, I love, the candor. Even though he's hiding everything, he's telling you enough to make you, to fill up your notebook. And, the fact that he said, listen, man, the moment I name a starter, I'm going to be on the phone with the backup's agent who's going to be wanting to transfer out. So I have to keep this close to the vest. And that's a new day and age in college athletics, man. You see it every day. You're working it every single day.
Yeah, coaches are one of the things I've realized talking to them about this new world that they're all operating in is they're hesitant to complain publicly because in this day and age, nobody wants to hear a guy making $4 million complain about how hard his job is. This country's a tough place right now for a lot of people. And so they're hesitant to complain publicly, but everything you're saying is it's crazy.
It is.
Right now, you're having to negotiate with players. If you don't give them the right contract and the right position, you got problems. Everybody knows what everybody else is making. Does that permeate throughout your locker room and cause issues? It's just a new world that they're adjusting to. But the thing I've realized, this is what I was going to say. You talk to them, and when they're all doing press conferences, they talk confidently. And but privately, you know what I hear from? I would say more than half. I don't know what I'm doing.
Right, that anxiety.
I'm talking about Hall of Famers, guys who are already in the Hall of Fame or will be, and they say, "GP, I don't. I think I'm doing it right, but I don't know. This is all new stuff."
Yes. And it's crazy because it's a new territory, and you're always in that recruiting mindset. And then think about it. In Huff's position, this is game one of a new job, right? Arguably the highest profile job that he's had from that standpoint. Marshall was pretty solid, but Memphis might be at a different level in terms of reach and scope. But for him to be able to, as a head coach, for him to think, I got to go into this game against UNLV. A lot of people know Dan Mullen. Sure. He's been in this region, and he might be coming back to the SEC. And if I name a starter, my backup might say, I'm out of here. Now I got one quarterback prepared to go into the game one. And now what do we do? How does this impact my depth? Not just at that one position, but every position where I name a starter. So it's kind of funny how neither side is offered a depth chart. Right. And we're at Thursday, right? So this is a new age, man. I can't imagine being a coach in this situation. I'm surprised, Izzo is still here. Oh, well, that's the guy that when you were saying, I don't know what I'm doing, he's the guy that his voice comes to my mind when I hear that.
That's not a quote from him, but the sentiment is there. He's Tom will tell you this. He'll say, I'm going to keep recruiting high school players, and I'm going to keep trying to develop them. I am not going to recruit over them out of the transfer portal every year because I still believe if I bring you to Michigan State, it's my job to get you my job to recognize your talent, and then it's my job to get you ready. And if I feel like I've got to go recruit over you, then I feel like I failed, and I'm just going to run my program that way. And then if you say, so how you feel about it? He'll go, I don't
know if that's going to work, but
this is a real story. I don't think any of these people would mind me telling this. I'm at Big 12 spring meetings earlier in the offseason, and one night we're just a hotel lobby bar, the scene, and it's all the Big 12 coaches. I mean, there's Bill Self, there's Kelvin Sampson, there's TJ Otzelberger, everybody's here, and they're just sort of all talking. We're all talking about agents and general managers and all of this stuff. And I'm watching, frankly, at the time, Kansas has no general manager. And I'm watching Bill Self and Tommy Lloyd, the Arizona coach and the Kansas coach, two guys who are probably both on. Bill's already in the Hall of Fame. Tommy's on his way. And Tommy's like, you've got to get a general manager. It just eliminates all the bullshit that you're having to deal with. And Bill's like, but I don't want to give up that power. He's like, you don't have to give up the power. You just have to make him take the phone call. And Bill's like, he's like, how much time do you spend on the phone with an agent that you don't want to be talking to, that you don't have time to talk to? He's like, a lot. He's like, you can fix that. Like a month ago, you know what Kansas did?
Hired that GM, right?
He's from Memphis.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hired a general manager. Yeah. And I believe it started on that conversation.
And yes, the most unbelievable part about what you're saying is that these guys are figuring this out in real time.
Yes, and that was my point. The idea that one coach could look at Bill Self, a guy who's won 1 billion Big 12 titles, multiple national championships, is one of the greatest college coaches of all time. And Bill's like, maybe I need to do something different. I don't know. It was fascinating to me that we all get paid to sit in front of microphones and act like we know everything. And the men who are running these programs right now really are learning and adjusting and guessing. They're doing a lot of guessing.
Yeah, man. And that's what makes it hard. I can't imagine. It's much harder. And you're seeing why, Dusty May jumped from college to the NBA, right? I think the Michigan job is much harder than the Dallas Mavericks job.
Well, you know what Dusty said? I got tired of not coaching basketball. I'm a basketball coach. If you talk to Dusty, I saw him at Summer League, and here's what he would say. This is not quotes, but the sentiment. I didn't get into this to get rich, to get famous. I just wanted to coach basketball. I had no idea all this stuff was going to happen to me. A few years ago, I was just an assistant coach somewhere. Then I was a head coach at Florida Atlantic. This is not supposed to be my life.
Yes. That was a meteoric rise for him.
Okay. And so don't ever forget, I didn't get into this for any other reason than to coach basketball. And what I found is that I wasn't coaching basketball at all. I was making a lot of money. I was having a lot of success. But I wasn't doing what I like to do. I loved winning, and I guess I was doing okay, but I wasn't. That's not what I want to do. I want to coach basketball. And in the NBA, you know what a basketball coach does in the NBA? Coaches his team. That's about it. That's about it.
That's it. Coach, develop.
Manage locker rooms, all that stuff.
But that's part of development and coaching, too.
In college, you prepare for a game. You coach the game. You meet with the media. Then 3 recruits come to your office with their parents. You talk to them for 45 minutes. Then then there's 2 boosters you need to talk to. Then you drive home. You're on the phone with somebody. And in the NBA, you talk to the media. You get on that plane. You get ready for the next game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You only got 30 opportunities in college. You got 82, and it's almost around the clock. For sure. Yeah, man.
So Marcus Stokes, it appears, is going to be the starting quarterback. I'm not going to ask you to break that down. Neither one of us has seen him play a game, really knew who he was until he, signed with the University of Memphis. It has appeared he's the most experienced of the two. Had played at a lower level of college football, but he's taken snaps, he's thrown passes, he's won games. This makes sense to me.
Right. No, it does. It does. And you want to go in with guys that you trust. Huff talked about 71 transfers coming in there. So almost every position and the two deep is whatever that two deep is inundated with guys that he's having to learn. So what you want to lean on is guys that you can trust, even though you don't know them yet. Yeah. You got to trust what you've seen and what you've developed so far. And we'll see, man. That's going to be a tough environment to go into. You know what I'm saying? And I hope, just selfishly, man, I want this era to get off to a great start. And I think the pieces are in place, and we'll see. But I think everything that falls after this first game, we'll get to know a lot more about the team at that point.
And then tell me about what's next for you. I heard CJ mention that you guys are headed to Nashville. Is that right?
Yeah, well, he's going. HBCU Huddle crew is going to Nashville for Tennessee State, Jackson State. Big time game. That used to be the Southern Heritage Classic here in Memphis. And then Deion Sanders came in.
I used to cover that game and loved it. Loved it.
Yeah. One of my first games in college with the basketball team was coming to Memphis for Gramblin's football game when they played in this thing back in '93. But the thing about it is that that game is it's an HBCU football game that used to be the Southern Heritage Classic that's played at Vanderbilt Stadium.
There you go. Okay.
Because the Titans have a preseason game that same day 2 hours earlier. So Nashville is already a traffic madhouse.
Man.
That night is going to be absolutely insane. So they're going to go up there and get some some scenes and kick off our HBCU football season coverage for Grind City Media. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Awesome stuff. You're the best, buddy.
Thank you, man. Pretty soon, man, it'll be training camp, and we'll be talking basketball again.
Cannot wait.
Yes,
That's Michael Wallace. Make sure you follow him on X at MyMikeCheck. That's at MyMikeCheck. You can get all his work at grindcitymedia.com. When we come back, we will turn our attention back to college football, where the Big 12 has joined the SEC and the Big Ten as leagues that are saying no former pro players are going to play in our conference. Is the ACC going to join them? What about the American? We'll dive in next. Gary Parrish Show. We're inside the Built Ford Tough studio.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
Are you an entertainer who loves to dance and hype up the crowd? If so, the Hustle Hype Crew is a perfect opportunity for you to gain professional performance and entertainment experience. The Hustle Hype Crew is a hip-hop-centric performance team that brings the energy to all the Memphis Hustle games. Come audition for the best entertainment team in the G League on Sunday, September 13th at Landers Center. For more information, visit memphis.gleague.nba.com/hype crew.
Your 27th season. How many years are you chasing to do?
What's retirement age? But no.
There's no such thing
You got look, man. When you guys start to get a certain age, you start thinking of different things. You gotta find that out.
Know.
So I've got young kids, so I'm gonna have probably 85.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The Grizzlies are on their way to a new era, and now's the perfect time to buy in and secure your seat to witness history. With the 2026-27 half-season tickets, you can see the future take shape in real time. With a talented draft class joining our young core and starting this season, half-season ticket holders can own the moments with all new MVP benefits, including inside access to exclusive events, perks that match your passion, and rewards that take your fan experience to the next level. More information, visit grizzlies.com/tickets or just call 901-888-HOOP or grizzlies.com/tickets. Gary Parrish Show. We're inside the Built Ford Tough studio. I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
The Big 12 has joined the SEC and the Big 10 as power conferences that have said, no way, Jose, if you used to play in the NBA and you used to play in the NFL, if you're a former professional athlete, you cannot play college football, college basketball, college anything for us moving forward. The Big 10 started this movement a few days ago. SEC followed. Now the Big 12 is also on board. What's the ACC going to do?
Probably follow suit.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think so. But it is interesting. There is an opening here because let's just talk about Daquan Wright, right? He was with the Cleveland Browns, was clearly planning, when I don't make this team, I'm going to LSU for millions of dollars. That was the plan. His case got in front of a judge in Louisiana. He's good to go. But the SEC is now saying, can't do it. Can't take him. And if you do, Lane Kiffin, you're facing a half-year suspension, which is a wild stare down now because if you're LSU, what do you do? Because what the SEC is doing with the announcement of the potential punishments last night, they're just trying to scare everybody. The SEC cannot confidently tell you or anybody else that this is going to hold up in court, that they could win the legal battles.
Yeah.
But the season starts.
We're here.
We're here. And so what Greg Sankey and the SEC is doing specifically to LSU, they're more or less saying, we've told you how we feel. We've told you what our conference rules are. And we've told you what will happen if you break them. I know you have told us you'll take us to court. You'll challenge us. That's fine. But, buddy, you better win. Because if you don't, you're suspended for half the year. LSU loses voting rights on league-wide issues moving forward. There's huge fines connected to it. So it's almost like, hey, you can drink and drive tonight on the way home from the bar if you want to. And you might be okay. But if you get caught, life in prison. So you better not even try it. Better not even try it. That's what they're doing in the SEC now. They're trying to scare them straight. And we'll see if it works. But there's an opportunity in other leagues. These guys got it. They're now cut from the NFL. But in theory, because of the legal system, they have eligibility. So, yeah, I guess if you were going to go to LSU or an SEC school or a Big Ten school and you're Daquan Wright or somebody of the caliber of that, maybe that was for millions of dollars. But now you just need a job. Now who will pay me to play football for them?
Yeah.
So if you're an ACC school or the American, what league is going to say, you guys can ban them off if you want to. Hey, guys, if you need a home, we'll take you. And suddenly enhance your rosters. That you could be in a mid-major conference with NFL players because they got nowhere else to go because the Big 10, Big 12, SEC, and maybe the ACC all said you can't come here. Well, they want to go somewhere, so you just go to the best place you can go. Think of it as restaurants. You're going out for dinner. But the 4 best restaurants are closed. You can't go. It ain't open for you. Well, you might not want to go to the 5th best restaurant, but it's the only one that'll take you. All right, I guess that's where I'll go eat tonight. Ain't nowhere else to go. That's really the situation they might find themselves in. But I think the ACC will join. And all these players might really be done with college football. It is interesting to see these conferences come up with what appears to be a clever way to implement new rules that they feel like they can enforce. Judges ultimately will be the decision makers on that to some degree. But right now, these conferences have decided. And keep in mind, this has all happened pretty fast. The SEC released statements on Monday night that did not go as far as banning former pro players. But by Tuesday night, they were there. By Wednesday night, the Big 12 was there. Today's Thursday. Give it till 5 p.m. I bet the ACC gets there too.
Number 2.
TCU has rescinded the credentials from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram's beat writer after he reported on an incident in the locker room that led to a player's dismissal. You heard about this story at all?
I did, because he's a Memphian.
Okay. So.
Used to cover the Tigers.
Wild story that TCU is going to end up regretting because they just put Did you even know a TCU football player got dismissed from the team for assaulting a teammate within the past month?
No.
Of course not. How would you? There are people probably who call themselves TCU fans who didn't even know that happened. All right? Now the whole world knows it happened because you decided to get heavy-handed and ban a reporter for, you ready for this? Just doing his job. I say this as a former beat writer. Man, it can be hard to do your job sometimes because you're around these people every day and you need them for access and information, but sometimes you got to do your job in a way that they don't want you to, and it can get very uncomfortable. I can't tell you how many stories I wrote in 4 years on the Memphis beat that John Calipari wanted to kill me over. But at some point, I have a job to do. I wrote about a locker room assault. And trust me, Memphis did not want me doing that. It was Arthur Barclay punching Sean Banks.
Oh, yeah.
I wrote about that. It was sources close to the situation, detailed the whole thing. You think John Calipari wanted that out?
No.
You think R.C. Johnson wanted that out? No. But I felt I had a job to do. I got the story. I reported the story. I'll deal with it. To Memphis's credit, they were not happy. I think maybe John shut practice down for a few days. But they didn't try to rescind my credential. They didn't tell me I'm no longer welcome at games. They might have made me feel uncomfortable. But they didn't do something like this wisely. Because this is just going to lead to embarrassment and a piling on from the internet about your petty athletic department and university. Here's the story. Player punches another player from behind. Sucker punches him is the allegation. And so the Fort Worth Star-Telegram reports on it. Subsequently, and I should be clear, reports on it, but does not put the victim's name in the report. So the Fort Worth Star-Telegram reports that one player punched another player, and they identified the player who threw the punch. But they did not identify the player who got punched. 3 days later, the player who got punched jumps on Instagram and identifies himself. I'm the player who got punched and blah, 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 blah. All right. That player starts getting death threats, according to TCU officials. And that seems to be the crux of the motivation for rescinding the credential. You reported on this incident. It's now caused issues for one of our players because people are death threatening and all that stuff that happens in the year 2026. And we feel like you were out of line. So you're not credentialed for our game this weekend in Ireland, right? That's where it's at right now. I should, out of the sake of being fair, there does seem to be like maybe the story wasn't 100% right, the initial story, because it indicated that this had all been brewing for a while, that TCU coaches didn't really do anything to diffuse it, and that the victim felt targeted and felt like he was being bullied on some level. Somebody close to the victim's family has subsequently said that's not exactly true. And so it does appear that maybe the version of events wasn't as airtight as you'd like it to be. But that's not a reason to rescind a credential. And if you want to set the record straight, then set it straight, because the Fort Worth Star-Telegram is reporting that as well. They say we got the story wrong, or at least some details wrong. Okay, then tell us what, and tell us how. Tell us what the real version is. And so far, they have not shared their version of events. So it's just messy and silly. And probably a lesson for all athletic departments. I can understand being frustrated. Something you don't want out gets out. I can understand being frustrated. A reporter gets some details in the story not exactly right. I got all that. But when you start trying, this is a punishment doesn't fit the crime thing. There's a way to handle this without it turning into a national story. We should not be talking about TCU football today. It's a national story now. A block headline all over the country. And they turned it into that by trying to what? You're going to ban? There's only one newspaper that covers your stupid football program. It's this one. There's only one beat writer that covers your football program. Is this dude. Now what? They'll undo it. I bet you they undo it by kickoff on Saturday. But they'll have to undo it. And then you know what you have to ask yourself? So what was it all for? If you're going to undo it anyway, what was the point in doing it? All you did was make people like me all over the country tweet and talk about you in a negative way. Nobody should be thinking about TCU football outside of TCU fans. And yet the whole country today is going like, what's going on down there? Why'd they do that? Well, that was silly. Now they just brought more. It's just this. I don't understand why people in athletics don't have one person in the building who can just say, guys, hey, I'm mad too. I don't like this either. But trying to handle it this way is just it's gonna blow up on us. It'll be bad for us. I don't know why TCU doesn't have anybody in the building who could recognize that, but they should get one.
Number 3.
The ticker's done on ESPN. College football games, you won't see it. The scoreboard bug at the bottom. Over and done with. How you feel?
Not great. I don't want to sound like old man yelling at the clouds, but the ticker is important to my sports viewing experience.
So I saw some people make the point yesterday. Well, of course. What do we need it for? We all have phones. We all have apps. We all have scoreboards in our hand at all times. But I don't want to be holding a phone the whole time I'm watching a football game.
No. Here's why the ticker's awesome, okay?
Tell me why the ticker's awesome.
Because you could be watching Ohio State, Michigan on, big time network.
CBS
right?
Network of Stars.
Yeah. And
America's Most Watched Network.
And then the ticker is like, it's, third quarter and Alabama is down a touchdown to Mercer or someone like that. And it's
you
like,
might just see
whoa,
that. Right.
I got to flip that on.
That's exactly right.
Yes. And otherwise, you're never going to know that happened and that game's going to end and you won't know that there was like a moment of controversy or anything.
I know that I can always look at my phone and realize Mercer is beating Alabama, but I might not look at my phone.
Right.
But if it's just right there, I'll see it. I'll go, oh, wow, look, Alabama's ranked 3rd and down 7.
Yeah, I don't even know if Mercer has a football team. I would assume they do. I would assume they do.
Let's learn together.
I would assume that they have a football program. I'll say Division 1.
Does Mercer have a football team? Yeah. The Mercer Bears.
Okay.
Division 1.
Let's go.
Southern Conference.
Okay.
I know I can look at my app and see Mercer's up on Alabama, but I might not look at my app. Right. I might just be talking to you, watching TV. Trying to put my phone down and detach for a minute. Just, hey, I want to be like the old days when you just sit in your chair and watch the game.
Yeah.
Didn't stare at your phone all day long, scrolling.
This sounds like, hey, this sounds like that they're like, hey, everybody's, like you said, everybody's got their phones. They can look up this. This is a lot of extra work for us. We're having to pay someone to do this ticker every day. Sounds like cost cutting to me. Sounds like cost cutting, which an unnecessary cost cutting. We want the ticker.
I bet you the person running the ticker. I bet the person running the ticker is a very small expense for a major television network. In fact, I know the people who run tickers at cable networks.
Do you?
I've seen them.
Yeah.
It's just a little guy on a computer right up there in the corner. He's just sitting there. Nobody else in the room knows his name.
That's a cool job.
Nobody else in the room knows who that is. He just sits there and does the ticker.
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
I don't like it either. They say it's to clean up the screen. We're just going to clean up the screen.
No, it's not.
I didn't need the screen any cleaner. No. I needed to know if Mercer's ahead of Alabama.
Yeah, I like the ticker.
I like the ticker.
It served a purpose, and this is disappointing.
We lost something yesterday.
We did.
We lost something yesterday.
We did lose.
Did not mind losing the Pro Bowl, but I didn't want to lose the ticker.
No,
I'd be willing to take the Pro Bowl back if I could have my ticker back.
I think I would like that as well. So yeah, anti this, pretty lame. And again, it's not even just that. It's just little things, stuff that you're not really paying too much. I mean, I just felt like that it was very informative, as a sports fan, a big Major League Baseball game or just anything. I don't know. It just seems like it seems lame that they would get rid of this.
I think you're too young to realize this, but this was definitely a thing when I was in high school.
Yeah.
If you would bet on games, and we would in high school. We had a bookie in high school. I don't know why, or I don't know how. There was a grown man when I was in high school taking bets from high school kids.
Nice.
I mean, isn't that crazy?
Hell yeah.
It was fun. We had fun. Anyway, we didn't have phones. You didn't have... I guarantee there are people my age in the chat. I guarantee you I'm not the only one who did this. You know what you would have on your TV all night long? Headline news.
Because they would run sports scores
on the bottom.
Yeah.
And you would have $10 bet on the 96 Bulls. All right, laying 8 points. And you couldn't watch the game, and you couldn't listen to the game. But if you turned it on headline news, the score would come across like every 7 minutes.
Right.
And you just wait for it to be like, Bulls 71-66. 3 minutes left in the third. And you'd be like, all right, we're okay. And then you just wait. And it's like 7 minutes later, all right, start of the fourth. Now up 11. And that's the way you followed your bets. Can you imagine? I watch so much headline news just to see a Bulls score every 7 minutes. And then we got the tickers on all the games, and then we got all the games on TV, and then we could stream everything. And now I can watch or listen to anything I want to watch or listen to. But the byproduct of that is they're taking my ticker back. I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Wish I had my ticker back.
Me too.
Number 4.
Sounds like Michael Jordan's done with the NBA on NBC.
Was he ever really a part of it?
What a weird thing that was. Do you remember the first time you heard Michael Jordan is going to be a contributor to the NBA on NBC? You were like, oh, right, Michael Jordan.
This is big time.
Michael Jordan talking about basketball. Move over Charles Barkley. Here comes Michael Jordan. We really didn't know what it was going to be, but it was presented as Michael Jordan talking basketball on NBC. And I guess technically that is what happened. But do you remember what it was? They interviewed him one time.
Yes, one long sit-down interview.
It was like it was really like, I was going to say they flew him. Honestly, they probably just went wherever he is. They just said, where are you going to be? You pick the day, you pick the time, you tell us where to come, we'll show up. You put on a suit, and we'll be there. And we're going to talk to you for hours about everything. And then we're going to take that interview and cut it up over a whole season and just play little bits and pieces. And I guess it was interesting the first time you saw it because it was just Michael Jordan talking about basketball, so that was kind of cool. But then the next week, he's in the same suit. And the next week, he's in the same suit. And it becomes pretty clear, we're just consistently watching the same interview, just bits and pieces of it. But this is 4 months old now. This is 7 months old now. And it was just like, I think by the end, people were just like, who cares? Who wants to watch an old interview with Michael Jordan? And they weren't even that great.
No, they weren't.
And so, he's talked more on NASCAR broadcast than he ever talked on the NBA on NBC.
Yeah.
Because he loves talking about he loves talking about his race car. But he doesn't it was just a waste of everybody's time. So they're done with that.
Yeah, that was
I enjoyed the NBA on NBC, but the Michael Jordan aspect of it was disappointing.
That was very silly. Yeah. They should not have presented that the way that they did.
The product didn't match the build-up.
No.
Not even close.
Well, I'll miss you, Mike.
Okay, so let's recap. We got to keep track. Pro Bowl gone. Fine with it. Ticker gone. 2 thumbs down. Michael Jordan gone.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay. Wait till you read this story.
Number 5.
There's a fellow named Garrett Highlander. He's 20 years old. He's from West Virginia. And he created an online profile. Do you have any special names online, or are you just Bennett Doyle everywhere?
Just Bennett Doyle.
Yeah, I'm just Gary Parrish.
Yeah.
I wanted to be Gary Parrish, but there's another Gary Parrish who's a preacher in Hawaii. I can't even get him to return an email. I tried to buy Gary Parrish from him a long time ago.
Oh, he has your handle.
Yeah. And it was like 15 years ago. I was like, dude, you don't even tweet.
See if I can find it.
He was like a preacher. Last time I looked, he was a preacher in Hawaii. He was just preaching on my name.
I'm about to look at. I want to see if I can.
And every once in a while, somebody would tag me. I always thought it would be funny. You're a preacher from Hawaii, and I'm out there on the Island College basketball
there he is.
podcast, always talking about premarital sex. And I always thought it was funny that you'd think you're tweeting me about premarital sex, but you'd actually be tweeting the preacher in Hawaii.
He hasn't posted anything for a couple of years.
Might be dead.
Yeah, he
could have lost him during COVID.
Yeah, the last thing out.
You think we lost him during COVID?
Yeah, he did tweet some biblical scripture, and then he tweeted a new profile picture, and that was in February of 2024.
Well, he survived COVID then.
Yeah, he survived. You can go to his full bio on his website that he has the link for. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, this looks like a very old website.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's updated this.
I just don't feel like I just feel like I deserve that handle more than he deserves that handle. I'd do more with it. I think I'd do more with it.
I think you probably do. Yes. I think you've earned the right to that handle.
Okay, but I couldn't get it, so I had to be Gary Parrish CBS, and that's where I'm at on most things.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, just like you and I, Garrett Highlander, he could have named himself anything when he decided to start a Discord account and all these other online things. He could have called him anything other than Gary Parrish, because I can't even call myself Gary Parrish. Preacher in Hawaii's got that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, here's the name he picked. This is his actual screen name. Mr. Child Porn. That's a hell of a thing to call yourself.
Yikes.
I wouldn't even want somebody else calling me that.
No.
So the idea that I would call myself that is crazy. By the way, do not type Mr. Child Porn into your search engine. I did that earlier. They were trying to.
Yeah, that's they were
like
careful,
they were
buddy.
literally.
Yeah.
I mean, a phone number popped up and was like, if you need to call somebody, you need to call somebody.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Like you
need to be careful.
if you need help, you need to call somebody. We won't come arrest you, but you type in some weird things in your Google search. That's what happened to me today.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really just trying to find Garrett Highlander, but I was real close to maybe having a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway, this dude calls himself Mr. Child Porn. I Googled that. Anyway, he's been arrested.
I would hope so.
I'm going to give you one guess.
I would assume.
What they found him in possession of.
Yeah, I would assume the screen name says it all.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Okay, listen. You shouldn't be in child porn. It's gross and criminal activity.
Mm-hmm.
Gross criminal activity ain't nothing I'm down with, all right? So you shouldn't be in child porn. But if you are, you should at least try to get away with it, and calling yourself Mr. Child Porn ain't gonna help.
Yikes.
Is it? And by the way, how do people think they can still get away with this?
I don't know.
Like every time I see one of these stories, it's like, yeah, he had 70 pictures on his hard drive. And it's like, what? Like, once you go down that path, don't you have to assume somewhere, like, man, I might
be in a database somewhere.
Well, even the Jed York thing, isn't it kind of the same thing? Before you're just on some website soliciting a prostitute, wouldn't it pop into your head, this could be not as it appears? I'm just going to go to the bar and start throwing cash around.
I would assume that you don't really have the mental capacity to think for critical thinking like that.
I guess so. I don't know what's going on with these people, man. Anyway, back to Mr. Child Porn. He claims to authorities he was just trolling, but they got other people in his online community.
It's not what your computer says.
It's not what your computer says, and it's not what other people in your online community say, because you know what they say? Stu was sending me child porn.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. What a wild deal.
Yikes.
Anyway, he's got a mugshot now, and I guess this will be the story of his life.
Yep.
Every time
I don't think that leaves you.
Yeah, I don't think this Google search goes away. That's the other thing. You're Mr. Child Porn for the rest of your life.
Tough way to live.
I would think so.
Yeah.
He had. There were 48 cyber tip reports about him.
Jeez.
The entire community was like, "Hey, FBI, can you please go look at Mr. Child Porn? Can you go take a look at Mr. Child Porn? He's up to no good." And then they found him, and he was exactly as you would think Mr. Child Porn would be.
Mm-hmm.
What a wild deal.
Yikes.
What a crazy world. Of all the ways to get a mugshot, naming yourself Mr. Child Porn. I guess that's one.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's tough.
Yeah.
All right. Wish your parents luck.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a thing to have your son go through. Be back with Carry Out.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan?
It's the person who will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's a person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to give you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let other fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Yo, it's your best hype man in the NBA, BLJ. It is caravan season, brought to you by Kroger. Mid-South, we're coming to make something shake, and I never come alone. I got the best dancers in the NBA, the Grizz girls, and got the best hype squad in the NBA, the Claw crew, and I got the best junior Grizzly coaches right here. Free junior Grizzlies basketball clinics, sweepstakes, and so much more. It's Memphis Grizzly Caravan coming to a city near you. Holla!
Each challenge is unique, so each game plan is customized to identify opportunity and the path to victory. It's true in basketball, it's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle with personalized planning and advice. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by May 30th, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Stay on top of everything happening in the 901, the Mid-South, and beyond with Grind City Media's e-newsletter, bringing all the news and notes directly to your inbox. Lang's World, always by Lang Whitaker, touches on the biggest stories in the world of sports and pop culture, while Michael Wallace's Grizzlies Insider brings you all the latest coverage and analysis around the Grizzlies and NBA. Don't miss a thing. Stay connected to the conversation and sign up to download the lowdown today at grindcitymedia.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
The Memphis Grizzlies are looking for energetic and dedicated talent of all ages to join our live entertainment teams for next season. Auditions for the Claw Crew and Grizzline will be held Saturday, August 29th. That's this Saturday. Lock in your audition spot today at grizzlies.com/audition. That's grizzlies.com/audition. Let's do carry out.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
Hey, I told you yesterday, we spent a few minutes on Cooper Pratt, the Magnolia Heights graduate who's now starting shortstop for the Milwaukee Brewers. He got benched 2 nights ago against the Mets because he pulled back on a bunt that was a strike right down the middle and then didn't run on a little blooper down the first base line. Got a single, could have been a double. His manager pulled him right in the middle of the game, talked about it afterwards. We run hard in baseball. He didn't run hard. You got to play the right way. I told you, that's a humbling moment for that young man, but I look forward to him bouncing back. You know what he did last night? Bounced back. 2 for 4, scored 2 runs in Milwaukee's 8-1 victory over the Mets. So I don't like to see the Mets get beat up like that too often, but I stopped paying attention, much earlier in the offseason. So I'm just happy to see Cooper Pratt bounce back the way he did. 2 for 4, 2 runs last night. He'll be in the Major League Baseball playoffs real soon.
What's today's biggest game?
Okay, Bennett, we got NFL tonight.
All right.
You fired up?
I guess.
You don't care. It's Patriots and Browns.
Well, this week is never. I get fired up for the beginning of preseason.
You're over it now. It's a little bit like NBA Summer League.
Well, now they're not gonna. Nobody's playing, so it's like there's nothing to really decipher from it.
Well, if you can't get excited about this, I don't know how I'm supposed to.
Who we got? Patriots,
I was going to give you the Patriots and the Browns.
Okay.
The Browns just named their starting quarterback. He's not the 2025 Pro Bowler, Shedeur Sanders. It instead is Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
New England's 2.5-point favorite on the road. We're in Cleveland tonight. Total's 35.5, 7 o'clock on Prime Video.
I guess I'll take the Patriots.
I thought you were going to get excited about football. You don't care?
I get excited for the first couple weeks of preseason.
You're over it.
Now I'm just ready for the regular season.
Regular season does get started on September 9th. We're going to be here before you know it.
Yep. But I will watch.
Hold up. Did you know this? What day of the week does the NFL season start on?
I believe it's a Wednesday night.
Is that new?
Yeah, I think that's new.
Why are we doing that?
I don't know, but yeah, because I noticed that a couple weeks ago.
We get a Wednesday game, and then we get a Thursday game, and then we get our first Sunday of the season.
Yep, I can't wait. I've been on a horrible run.
You are getting killed out there. Let me give you your record: 362, 311, and 5. You're up 7.6 units. You lost 1.3 last night because the Dodgers lost to the Braves.
Suck, yeah. They suck. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just take the Patriots. I don't really know. I don't really know. I think we're going to get a Tommy DeVito versus maybe Shedeur Sanders. I mean, I'm sure we'll see Shedeur tonight. I don't know if we'll see
2025 Pro Bowler.
I don't know if we'll see Deshaun Watson. I mean, he was named the starter. Like, typically they rest these guys this last week. This is about seeing who makes the roster.
I don't know if I'd be resting on my laurels with Deshaun Watson. I ain't seen him. Every time I see him throw a pass, it hits the grass.
Yeah, I mean, I guess just give me the Patriots because they're a better run franchise. So if you give like this team a handful of players, you know what I mean?
Let's go with the better run franchise.
Yeah.
Let's go with the franchise that didn't decide to start Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, like I don't think we're looking at talent necessarily in this matchup. I think we're just looking at who actually runs their NFL franchise better. And one was in the Super Bowl last year, and one is never going to a Super Bowl ever.
Which franchise is dumb and which franchise is it?
Yeah.
Let's just side with the franchise that isn't obviously ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's the Patriots. So we're doing it.
Scheme it up, Mike.
Patriots minus 2.5. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. You can watch it on Prime Video.
What are we watching on TV?
Okay. Death of a pastor's wife. You in yet?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Number 1 show on Netflix today. 3-part true crime documentary.
I do just love these.
I love them.
I do. And now
I'm not joking. I got excited when I saw this.
Now some are better than others. What Netflix does.
These are the same people that did the Gabby Petito one. You know how much we enjoyed
that one was good. That one was really good. Okay, so I don't know this story.
Okay. From the directors of American Murder, Gabby Petito, this 3-part documentary investigates the tragic, mysterious death of Micah Miller. You don't know Micah Miller?
I don't think so.
Okay, let me tell you about Micah Miller. She was a 30-year-old woman married to this fellow. On April 27, 2024, she purchases a handgun from a pawn shop, drives to Lumber River State Park in North Carolina, called 911 to report her location, and then took her own life. It was formally ruled a suicide.
Okay.
But leading up to this, she had been telling friends she feared for her life. She served her husband with divorce papers 2 days before this happened.
Ooh.
Would you serve your husband? I don't know. But would you serve your husband with divorce papers and then take your own life 2 days later? I mean, I don't know. Maybe you would. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know. People are wild. I don't know what's going on. But not everybody believes this was a suicide. And Netflix is trying to get to the bottom of it.
I wonder how, I guess, I didn't realize people, I mean, I don't go to pawn shops that often, but I didn't realize that people were just going there. I would think that if you're buying a gun from a pawn shop, that's maybe a red flag.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, where would you get your gun, Bennett?
Like
Walmart, like every other American.
They don't sell guns anymore. I don't think Walmart sells guns anymore.
I bet. I don't know.
I think they removed them.
Walmart still sell guns.
You go to like a guns and ammo store or like Bass Pro or
yes, Walmart still sells certain long guns like shotguns and traditional hunting rifles. Yeah, you can still get a. This is America, buddy. You can still get a gun at Walmart.
Fair enough.
This is America, buddy.
Fair enough.
Where do you think you live?
Yeah.
Where do you think you live? Spain? This is America, buddy. You can still go into Walmart and get you a gallon of milk and a gun.
Maybe I'm just off on this one. I don't know. Like buying a gun at a pawn shop might raise a red flag for me.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
No disrespect to like the people running pawn shops.
You look down at people who buy their guns from pawn shops. Do you look down at people who buy their firearms from pawn shops?
I don't think so. I don't know.
You seem very judgy right now. of Micah Miller.
I know.
And how she obtained her handgun.
Maybe I shouldn't be.
You sound real judgy. Like, pawn shop, yeah.
But I mean, there's like gun stores you can go to, and with like people that specialize in that stuff,
know,
and they
but
can tell you everything you need to know and educate you. And
she didn't need to know much. Doesn't sound like. Sounds like she was only going to use it once.
I guess what I'm saying is, to spin this positively, is if you're going and buying your guns at a pawn shop, unless you're someone who's like knows a lot about guns, maybe it's not as responsible.
You sound judgy. You sound a little judgy. This woman was going through a divorce, and you're questioning where she got her firearm. Why don't you ask how she's doing? When are you going to ask how she's doing?
Well, obviously not great.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, obviously not great.
It's not great.
They made a Netflix special.
If Netflix makes a special
you're
about
done.
you,
Yeah.
I don't care whether you're Vince Young or Micah Miller.
Right.
It's tough.
Oh, I gotta watch that today. By the way, that I've seen so many people talking about that, and I am fascinated. I gotta watch it.
I don't have to watch it.
I do. Can I talk about that for just a second?
Yeah, we got plenty of time. You do whatever you want.
I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it, but my stance on the Vince Young, Jeff Fisher thing is, I think Jeff Fisher might be the one that's more in the wrong than me. Vince Young was an immature young player who skyrocketed. He was Rookie of the Year, right? And he made some bad decisions, but his coach did not want him from the get-go. And I stand on that. And I haven't seen the documentary.
I haven't seen the documentary. I probably won't see the documentary.
But just from living through that and loving those teams, like I always thought Jeff never wanted him there.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen some people tweet about it, and the takeaway seems to be the Vince Young is just sad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and he made a lot of bad mistakes. There's no doubt about that.
And that Jeff Fisher comes off like a jerk.
That checks to me.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest.
Anyway.
Listen, he's one of our greatest coaches ever. I respect to the guy, but it's just my thoughts.
I'm probably not going to get to the Vince Young documentary, but I'm definitely getting to Death of a Pastor's Wife. I love these. I wish Netflix would do a new one every week. Just give me something like this that's just, I could just put it on and just lay there and be like, well, at least I'm not going through that, you know?
Right.
I like these. I can't wait.
It makes you feel better about yourself.
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
I think so. Not great about myself, but better, you know? I got it. I just needed anything. I've been... You have no idea what Hayden Panettiere dying has done to my life.
Oh, you guys watching a bunch of Hayden content? What y'all watching?
I guess it just shows... I guess is this dirty business? Netflix just shoving that down? It's just like... I walk in one day... Like the day after she died. And I walk in and my wife's watching Nashville on Netflix. She's on episode 1. I said, what are you watching? She's like, Nashville. I said, why? She's like, well, you know, she died. And I was like, well, yeah. But that didn't answer my question. And she was like, I don't know. It was just there. It was just there, and I just turned it on.
Okay.
And now we're 18 episodes in to Nashville. And I want to be clear. I don't watch them. They're just, I'm just sitting with my wife as she watches them. And I'm just sitting there. But I'm hoping Death of a Pastor's Wife can pull us away from Nashville just a little bit. I've had about enough of Nashville.
I never consumed Nashville, but I will, to your point about is it dirty business? It could be. I mean, I don't know. Like, okay, so Dolly Parton passes away, and everyone wants to consume Dolly Parton content. We both
That's
did.
perfect. I wish my wife would have started watching 9 to 5.
Well, and that was kind of, so like I go to like my cable network and you know I go and look at like what the movie, you know, the most watched or new and most popular movies are, and like, you know, it's all the new releases and things that just came out. And she passes, and I mean, right there at the top,
it is.
I mean, minutes later is 9 to 5 and Steel Magnolias, and it's like,
where's Rhinestone?
It's like, I think it was up there too.
Do you know Rhinestone?
That's the Stallone movie, right?
I had forgotten all about Rhinestone, and then in the Dolly Parton, you know, it came up, and I was listening to a podcast. There was actually a podcast the day she died. I found a podcast that was literally titled "Why Does Everybody Love Dolly Parton?" That was the title. And
okay,
it was
that's
just
nice.
It was and it was from 4 years ago. It was an old podcast, but it was these people. And they were just really trying to dissect, like, what is it? It was all the stuff you've heard since she died, but they were talking about it 4 years ago. She's been studied, like people who are interested in people and behavior have studied the phenomenon of Dolly Parton. This isn't like something they say. This was 4 years ago in this podcast they were explaining. She has been studied by people who are interested in human behavior. What is it about this person that makes her so likable, that makes everybody agree on her? And in that podcast, as they were running through everything, they bring up Rhinestone. And I'm like, holy God. I can remember that watching it at my grandmother's house. We had the VHS of it. And I could even remember Stallone sings in it. And there's this like a song in it. It was just funny when you're a kid. It's like, Budweiser, you created a monster. And they called me or him Drinkenstein. It was, I'm Drinkenstein. It's Stallone singing Drinkenstein. And as a person in the thing, right, they say Rhinestone, and that song popped into my head. And then they immediately, the other person was like, is that the one with Drinkenstein? It's like just a very... And so I guess it is when people die, we just go back to these things.
Oh, I watched Steel Magnolias the other night.
I would rather watch Steel Magnolias than Nashville. I'd rather watch just anything with Dolly Parton.
It was pleasant. It was delightful.
Than Nashville. But anyway, I'm 8 and we're 18 episodes in season 1. I don't even know when season 1 ends.
Never.
When does season 1 end?
Never.
Let's see how many episodes are in Nashville season 1. It's outrageous. Nashville season 1.
Continuous loop.
I mean, it feels like it won't stop. Let's see. Okay. 21 episodes in season 1. So I guess we're almost there. Dude, it was doing numbers back in the day.
I would assume so.
They were getting like 6 million people a show.
Yeah, it was Hayden, Connie Britton. I don't remember who the guy was, but
it was all them. You had Connie Britton, Hayden Panettiere, Eric Close, Jonathan Jackson.
I don't know. Anyway,
about the worst thing that happened to me over the past month is Hayden Panettiere dying. It's really taking a toll on my television experience. I'm 18 episodes into Nashville.
That's a lot of episodes.
3 more to go. We're gonna have season 1 wrapped up, and I hope they didn't make any more seasons after 1.
Yeah.
I think they did though. Damn it.
What's the best thing we've read?
So I kept reading about Dolly Parton last night. Did you see the Chris Isaak post? Oh, it was great. Everybody's got a Dolly Parton story, and they're all just they're just great stories. I remember a few years ago, a famous person died. I don't want to say who it was. You'll know why in a second. But I just remember this person dies, and everybody feels like they got to say something, like, oh man, I knew him. And you read him, and it was all like, man, he's really talented. Or there was just no substance to I couldn't find anybody that had anything like a nice story about this person. Like, hey, there's this one time and this man, you wouldn't believe how there was just no great stories about that. I was like, man, he must have really not been a great guy because I haven't heard one good story about the guy. It's just like people feel like they got to say something, but they don't have anything to say. So it's like, man, really enjoyed his work, but it was nothing like nobody had a great story.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a great Dolly Parton story. If you met her once, it's a great story. Chris Isaak, Chris Isaak, Wicked Game, all that stuff. So he said he was, he tweeted this last night. He said he was doing a Kenny Rogers special with Dolly Parton. And there was a moment where they were backstage together. Just Chris Isaak and Dolly Parton. They find themselves in the same room. And, it's Dolly Parton. It's a legend. And he says to Dolly, can I ask you if you can tell me if this story I heard is true? And she said, sure. And he said, okay, here's what I heard. I heard that one time Porter Wagoner was like her mentor, like, they're connected at the waist. And Chris Isaak said, I heard one time that when Porter fell on hard times, you bought his catalog from him, to put some money in his pocket. So it was like, Porter, it was drying up a little bit. And Dolly was like, you know what? You have a catalog of songs that's valuable. I'll buy it from you, just to put the money in. You need some money. It's just like, you start selling off your things. And so Chris Isaac's like, I heard you You bought his catalog from him. And then when things turned around for him and he got some money, he came back to you and said he wanted to buy his catalog back. And you told him, you told him, no, I'm not selling your catalog back to you, but I'll give it back to you. You can just have it. And Chris Isaak said, is that true? And you know what Dolly said? Yes. And just left it there. Didn't want to talk about it, didn't want to brag about it, didn't want to expand on it, didn't want to tell you didn't want to add to it, because then all you do is say, oh my God, what a beautiful thing. You gave this guy money for his catalog, and when he had the money to get it back, you said, keep your money. I'm giving it to you. I don't want your money. I just wanted you to be okay. If you want your songs back, just take them. If she says, yeah, and here's how it went down, now you're in that conversation where you're like, oh my God, she didn't want any of that. She was just like, he said, can you confirm this story for me? This is a story I've heard, and can you just tell me if it's true? And he told her the whole story, and he said, she looked right at me, and she said, yes. And she said nothing else. She said yes and nothing more. Here's how he continued the post. I think she didn't like to speak of her good deeds, but being a songwriter, knowing how much songs mean to a writer, it made me have a great respect for her. God bless her.
Nice.
And you know what? If you were just ranking all the nice Dolly Parton stories, I don't even know where that would come in. But that would be somebody else's best story. That would be most people's best story. What's the nicest thing you ever did for somebody who meant something to you? That would be your best story. And she probably has 100 of those.
Yeah.
100,000 of those. So that's what we're reading. Just read about Dolly Parton and wish that there was a whole world filled with her.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow's going to be Friday. You know what that means. Food Truck Friday.
Nice.
Jessica Benson's going to join us in the first hour. We will get you ready for Memphis UNLV. Are you ready to set the stage?
Kind of. I mean, it's a new era.
Are you ready to set the stage?
Sure. I'll try my best.
We got to set the stage. We got to talk shit to UNLV tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, Dan Mullen. Bro, you couldn't even win at Florida. I mean, it's Florida. How could you not win at Florida? Now you think you're going to beat the Tigers with UNLV?
We're going to see.
Couldn't even win at Florida, man. How good are you really if you can't even win at Florida?
I hope not that good.
You see? This is how you do it.
Yep.
This is how you do it.
I hope not that good.
You going to be ready? You got 22 hours to get ready.
Best.
You got 22 and a half hours to get ready. You ready?
Yep.
All right. We're going to have some big questions for Dan Mullen tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're going to dissect his career. Oh, everybody loves Dan Mullen. Oh, isn't Dan Mullen so good? He had one of the best jobs in the country. A job where other men have won national championships. Steve Spurrier, Urban Meyer. He had one of the best jobs in the country. Couldn't win it. And we're supposed to be scared.
I'm a little scared.
Yeah. But that's the way you do it. That's the way you set the stage.
I got it.
All right. I'm ready.
Me too.
Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to try to enjoy mine. We're going to be back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.